G'day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan video. Now in this video we're going to be taking a look and discussing what players should do after they finish the Greatest Warrior mission. So let's say you're a new player, you've just started Dokkan Battle. The first thing you should do is follow the Greatest Warrior mission guides. You want to complete those, but then you're like, right, what do I need to do? Well, first thing you need to do is summon. You're going to need to summon because you need enough units not only to make a really solid team, but to make and pull units to eventually do a lot of the in-game content. So to get summons, we need to get stones, and the easiest way to get stones is the quest mode. Not only can you easily take this on with the units provided from the Greatest Warrior mission, but it requires you to do literally nothing to them pretty much. Most times you'll be able to finish quest mode missions and story without really having to put in that much effort. And you get a lot of stones for it, so it's a very good way to start pulling for units. Once you start getting stones, just pull. Generally speaking, for new players you can pull onto any banner. Make sure it's a Dokkan Fest banner or a big time banner, and just double check maybe online, or you can see my videos. I always do a latest video on them. While you are doing story mode, keep an eye out past area 10 for the missions for Vegito. They'll pop up, they're called Supreme Kai Trials, and the reason you want to keep an eye out for this is not only is Vegito a really strong unit in his base form, but as an LR he gets an easy A, and he's going to be a pretty good option for you, especially as a free-to-play. And since doing the quest mode after completing it is a bit of a pain in the ass, you're going to want to do this. It's pretty simple. I have a guide on it if you want to, which I will leave in the top right hand corner, but it is something you should just make sure you're doing. Remember, it only starts past area 10. So the next thing you need to do is build your team. After you've done enough summons, you should hopefully have enough units that fit either under a category or under a typing. You want to make sure that you choose a unit that has a type, which is a AGL strength physical lead, or a class lead, super or extreme, or it can even just be a category lead. Those are probably the easiest. Make sure all your units fit under that lead, which will be under the first unit you select on the top left of your team building screen. Once you've done that, and before you take on Dokkan events, because those are your next step, scan the story events. A lot of the times there will be stories events that have units that tie into the banners, and so you'll have units that you can place onto your team. Let's say, for example, you manage to pull the Future Saga Gohan or the Time Traveler's Trunks. Going to these story events, there are multiple Time Travelers and Future Saga units that you can obtain. Not only are free-to-play units very good for you, because you can raise their super attack levels and max them out without having to summon or use Dragon Stones as an investment, but you can also grab multiple copies of them. So you're able to fill up your team quite rapidly with units that fit under your category, and those units can have their SA attack levels maxed, and if you really want to, you can open up their hidden potential piles for later. You're not going to have the orbs to max them out right now, we'll talk about that just now, but having them and just having their stats boost under your leader skill is the next big step. Once you've done that, you should be ready to start slowly Dokkan awakening your units. You need to start with the older units first. It's very tempting to go for your LR unit straight away, and I can understand that. But rather start with some of the older units first. If you are predominantly using free-to-play units, then rather focus on taking it nice and slow. You can do the first difficulty. It really doesn't matter. The first Dokkan Awakening is always the hardest, and it's also the one that matters the most. And it's why you want to make sure that you get it done. That first Dokkan Awakening opens up your world, so it's definitely something you want to do, but you just need to be careful and make sure that you are doing it at a pace that is possible. Don't jump straight to the hardest difficulty if you can't even complete it. So next, now we need to Dokkan Awaken all of our units, which is very, very important. But there are a couple of things that you need to know about your units that are also crucial. Leader skill, and making sure they all fit under the leader skill, making sure that you raise their super attack levels. For a lot of units, this will require Kais. However, in some situations, you can save on Kais by using different units. I'll leave a link to that video in the top right hand corner. But it is a way to save on Kais and could help you out, especially if you're doing the free-to-play events anyway. On top of that as well, there is also things like the hidden potential system, the gear system, and these are a bit more complex. Remember to go to the growth section to gather resources that you're going to need for not only Dokkan Awakening, like medals, but also hidden potential orbs. Your next goal is to make sure that you hit rank 100 and you can access the Virtual Dokkan Ultimate Clash. From there, you can start working on things like SBR, ESBR, etc. There is a progression guide that I do and have updated, and I will leave a link to that in the top right hand corner, because that is going to be your very next step from here. That's it from me. Bye.